Chapter 12, Attack by Fire, Sun Tzu's The Art of War, also translated as The Use of Fire in Warfare or Incendiary Attacks. In Chapter 12, Sun Tzu explains the use of fire as a weapon of war, both literally and metaphorically. Fire represents both a physical means of attack, burning enemy supplies, camps, cities, etc., and a strategic concept, using chaos and destruction to weaken the enemy. The key lesson of this chapter is, fire can be a powerful tool of destruction, but it must be used wisely at the right time and under the right conditions. 1. The 5 types of fire attacks. Sun Tzu classifies fire-based attacks into 5 categories, each targeting a different aspect of the enemy's war effort. Type of fire attack, what it targets. Best conditions. 1. Burning personnel. Enemy soldiers in camps cause panic and disorder when enemy forces are resting or unprepared. Burning supplies, food, weapons, and resources. Starve the enemy and weaken their combat ability during a siege or before a battle. 3. Burning storehouses, supply depots and warehouses. Disrupt enemy logistics and force surrender when supplies are concentrated in one place. 4. Burning armories, weapons, ammunition, and horses. Cripple the enemy's ability to fight back when enemy forces depend on stored weapons. 5. Burning transport routes, bridges, roads, and escape paths. Isolate the enemy and trap them when enemy forces need mobility to survive. Example, the Mongols, 13th century. Genghis Khan used fire to burn enemy cities, supply routes, and crops, weakening resistance before direct attacks. The 4 situations for using fire in warfare. Sun Tzu emphasizes that fire attacks must be used under the right conditions. He lists 4 ideal situations for employing fire as a weapon. Situation, why it works. How to execute it. 1. During dry weather, fire spreads faster and is harder to control. Attack in hot, dry seasons. 2. When the wind is favorable. Wind carries fire toward the enemy, not your own forces. Wait for the right wind direction. When the enemy is unprepared, fire causes chaos, making it easier to attack. Strike at night or during times of weakness. 4. When the enemy is trapped, fire cuts off escape routes and forces surrender. Set fire to exits and supply lines. Example, the Siege of Moscow, 1812, Napoleonic Wars. The Russians burned their own city as Napoleon's army entered, denying them supplies. Napoleon's army was forced to retreat in winter, leading to massive losses. 3. The strategic use of fire beyond literal burning. Sun Tzu also uses fire as a metaphor for chaos, destruction, and psychological warfare. He teaches that causing disorder in the enemy's ranks is just as powerful as burning their supplies. Type of fire, what it represents. How to use it. How to use it. Fire of division, creating internal strife within the enemy. Spread misinformation, bribe enemy officials. Fire of panic, spreading fear and confusion. Surprise attacks, night raids, deception. Fire of overextension, forcing the enemy to fight on multiple fronts. Attack supply lines, spread the enemy's forces thin. Fire of rebellion, encouraging uprisings in enemy territory. Support enemies' dissatisfied allies or factions. Example, the fall of the Roman Empire. Rome's enemies, Goths, Vandals, used fire of division, turning Rome's own people against them. 4. Coordinating fire attacks with conventional warfare. Sun Tzu stresses that fire attacks must be combined with traditional military tactics for maximum effectiveness. He gives 4 key rules for integrating fire with battle strategy. 4.1 Fire must be followed by attack. Do not wait after setting fire. Strike immediately while the enemy is in disarray. Fire weakens defenses, making it the perfect moment to invade. Example, the Great Fire of London, 1666, Anglo-Dutch War. The Dutch Navy attacked English ships while London burned, taking advantage of chaos. 4.2 Fire must be used at the right time. Weather, wind, and enemy positioning must be perfect before using fire. Rushing a fire attack too early wastes the opportunity. 4.3 Fire must be coordinated with other attacks. Combine fire with sieges, surprise attacks, or ambushes. Set fire to supplies first, then attack enemy troops who are starving or weakened. Chasta 4.4 Fire should force the enemy to move into a trap. Burn enemy escape routes to force them into a direct battle on your terms. Fire should push the enemy into bad terrain or a prepared ambush. Example, the Battle of Red Cliffs, 208 CE, China's Three Kingdoms. Cao Cao's fleet was set on fire, forcing his army to retreat into ambushes. 5. When fire should not be used. Sun Tzu warns that fire attacks are powerful but dangerous. They can backfire if not used correctly. Bad conditions. Why fire fails. Wind blows toward your army. Fire spreads in the wrong direction. Enemy is prepared. They have fire defenses and countermeasures. Wet or cold weather. Fire is hard to start and maintain. No follow-up attack. Fire alone does not win wars, needs ground troops. Example, the Great Fire of Rome, 64 CE. The fire spread uncontrollably, harming both the attackers and defenders. 6. Key takeaways from Chapter 12. 1. Fire is both a weapon of destruction and a tool of strategy. It causes chaos, fear, and disorder. 2. There are 5 types of fire attacks: burning troops, supplies, storehouses, armories, and transport routes. 3. Fire must be used at the right time. Dry weather, favorable winds, and enemy unpreparedness are ideal. 4. Fire should always be followed by a direct attack. Chaos is the best moment to strike. 5. Fire can be metaphorical. Spreading panic, division, and rebellion weakens an enemy without physical destruction. 6. Poorly planned fire attacks can backfire. Fire is unpredictable and requires careful execution. 7. Fire should force the enemy into a trap. Use it to control movement and battlefield positioning. Conclusion. Chapter 12, Attack by Fire, teaches that war is not just about brute force. It is about creating chaos, weakening the enemy, and striking at the perfect moment. A skilled general uses fire, both literal and metaphorical, to disrupt the enemy's strategy and gain the upper hand. Victory comes not just from strength, but from timing, coordination, and manipulation of the battlefield.